Now on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Joining us from Lindale, the head coach of the Eagles, Mike Meador. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well. How are your workouts been going in August?
Going well. Actually, we're pretty blessed because the weather has been really cooperating, and it's been really nice practicing.
All right, so now there are a lot of changes coming. You got 4 guys back on offense and 5 back on defense from a team that went 10-2 and went to the area finals last year in Class 3A. Talk about moving back to Class 4A, though.
Well, it's definitely a big challenge because the opponents that we're going to face are experienced and usually have more athletes and more students than we do. But it's something that we are used to. Prior to being 3A the last 2 years, we were 4A for 4 years in a row and did well. We played against Jacksonville and White House and Kilgore and Henderson at the time and Nacogdoches. Those were all our district prior to that. So, again, moving back up, it's not the first time we've ever done it. So we're going to be okay. I mean, we're going to jump right in there and battle as hard as we can. Okay.
Talk a little bit about the challenges you have this season. First of all, you got to replace a record-setting quarterback.
Absolutely. Clay Price was our quarterback for the last 2 years and did an incredible job, led our team to 2 straight area finals and did an awesome job for us. So replacing him is a tough thing, but I've got a young man that's a 2-year starter as a wide receiver that we're going to move to quarterback, and then I've got another young man behind him. Josiah Johnson's the receiver that we're going to play at quarterback, and then I've got a young man named Cody Slice that's going to play the other quarterback. So those 2 are going to be good, but I've got 2 running backs that are back. And both of them are going to be very, very talented and did a great job for us last year. Okay,
now one of those, I guess, is Trey Acey?
Trey Acey, yes, sir.
Yeah. And talk a little bit about him and what he brings to the game.
Well, last year he kind of came into last fall as a second-team running back, and then DeMarcus Lynch got hurt, and Trey stepped up and started playing well and ended up rushing for, I think, around 1,500 yards and I believe it's 17 touchdowns for the year.
Wow.
Did a pretty good job for us. And so, again, I got both of them back, and they're healthy. And so, they're going to really bring some stability and some experience to the table. So that's going to be a big part of our offense this year.
And also, I guess, the other running back, DeMarcus Lynch, correct?
Correct, yes.
And talk about the way he plays now. He fought a lot of injuries last year.
Yeah, he had an ankle injury earlier in the year, and that kind of propelled Trey to get to play, and Trey ended up kind of really having a great season after that. And DeMarcus just battled that all year long, but both of them had a great spring. So far, they've had an awesome fall so far during 2-a-days. And so both of them coming back is going to be great. DeMarcus he really started didn't start, but played on the varsity as a sophomore and a junior. And so, again, their experience and their hard work is gonna be something we're gonna hopefully be able to use to achieve the goals that we have.
Sure. Coach Mike Meador from the Lindale Eagles on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM. Coach, talk about your defense. What are you expecting this year from that bunch with 5 guys coming back?
I'm very excited about it. We're going to be young defensively. I think our secondary is going to be a little more experienced, but our D-line and linebackers, I'm having to replace quite a few. But I have Randy Huffstickler is going to be my defensive coordinator from Robert E. Lee. He was the defense coordinator there for 15 years. And so he brings a lot of experience, and I think he's going to really get those guys doing well. But we're going to be young. I mean, we've got several kids that are either sophomores or juniors that are going to be playing for us on the as linebackers and D-line. And so it's going to be young. We're going to learn as we go, and we're going to continue to get better and better. So I think our defense is. I'm excited about it, but it's just a big question mark right now. As we get into the season a little more, we'll know a little more.
And you mentioned with the move up into 4A, you move up into a pretty nasty district now with John Tyner and Corsicana and White House and some of those kind of guys on there. So and Jacksonville, to name a few. Talk about the challenges of moving into that district.
It's a very tough district, and then you before, when we were 4A, again, White House and Jacksonville and Knack, those were schools that we had played before.
Right.
Corsicana and John Tyler, we've never played before, and I don't think in the history of Lindale, we're only 11 miles away, but I don't think we've ever played John Tyler before, because used to, we were a 2 or a 3A, and they were always a 4 or 5A. Well, they've gotten a little lower and we've gotten a little bigger, and so here we are, now in the same district, 11 miles apart, and we'll be facing off for the first time ever. So, we're excited about it. Yes, they are a very talented group, and this is going to be a good year for them. But we're also looking forward to that challenge.
Yeah, and you surely didn't do anything to soften up your schedule in the non-district area. That's for sure.
No, we open with Chapel Hill, who's defending state champs. We our second ball game's against Carthage, who out of the last 4 years won 3 of the state championships, and then Van, who is I think going to be a better football team this year.
Wow!
And they're right down the road, a rival. So that's going to be tough. And then we have Hallsville and Pine Tree. So our preseason, I wanted to play opponents that's going to get us ready to play in a 4A tough district.
Well, I think you did that. There's no question about that. Can you talk about the carryover that a season like last year has for your football team, even though it's a different year and it's a different ball club, but talk about, making that kind of a run and having the kind of season you had.
Our kids expect that. For the last 3 years, we won a district championship, and our kids are fighting to try to continue that tradition. And they know the challenges ahead, and they're aware that, as we get into White House and John Tyler, that it becomes a more difficult situation. But they also know that, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we were actually, when they were freshmen, we were actually playing those same guys, and we did well against them. So it is a challenge, but it's one of those things that we look forward to. As a coach, I want a game that every week is a challenge, and I promise you, this year I have that every single week.
Congratulations, you succeeded.
Absolutely.
Hey, Coach. Hey, we really do appreciate you talking to us. We wish you the best of luck this coming season. We're looking forward. We do the White House games on the radio, so we're looking forward to being able to watch your team play this year. And thanks again for everything you do for us over here.
Well, Bryan, thank you. If you need anything, let me know.
We'll absolutely do that. Coach Mike Meador from the Lindale Eagles on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM.